broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Miriam Gonzalez, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I don't care. I love it.
Hey there, AfterBuzzers. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV. I am your host, Miriam Gonzalez. Welcome to Girls After Show. Ow! Yes, Season 4, Episode 8. I am your host, Miriam. You can follow me on Twitter at Miriam L. Gonzalez. The name of this episode is Tad and Laureen, Avi, and is it Shanaz?
Shanaz. I think so, yeah.
Joining me are my lovely panel of fabulous hosts.
Hi
Ladies.
guys, I'm Candice Buen, and what an episode, but I am on Twitter and Instagram at Candice Buen.
And what's up, guys? Spicy Madi in the building. I will be keeping it hot and sizzling as always. You guys can play with my Twitter at spicy_Madi or stroke my Instagram at spicy_Madi.
Yes. So tonight there was a lot going on in the episode, and we're just going to kind of be a little all over the place, as this episode is a little all over the place.
This episode was a telenovela.
It really was.
We went from kind of losing
Exactly.
it on HBO Girls. It was getting a little dry, and then all of a sudden, this huge turn of events happened.
It really was an interesting episode, and I'm a little all over the place. So I wanted to start with Ray because I thought he was like the smaller storyline tonight. You know, he's out there campaigning for the seat on being the chair. For, you know, getting the horns beeping outside of his window, which is driving him bonkers. And you know, he's out there with Shoshana, which, you know, it's nice to see them developing a friendship and her supporting his wanting to be in politics and making a difference. And it was interesting to see them try to develop this friendship as far as like the conversation about talking about their love life. You know, Ray sees her flirting and with what he called Tarzan.
Yeah.
With the Tarzan-looking guy, which he was really kind of cute, and gets a little on the jealous side.
And that's the thing, is I don't know if Ray was jealous or if it was just annoyance.
He wanted
for
her
him
to continue working.
Yeah,
and
like I'm always torn about Ray because every single time I think that maybe he still has feelings for her, he throws this for a curveball and goes back to his feelings with Marnie.
As we found out tonight, as you know, she reveals to him that she has a date with Scott, and
dates are always exciting, you guys know.
they really are.
And I'm excited for Shoshana, like the fact that she has a new boo thing.
Yeah, and in the process of you know, them discussing the fact that she has this date, she asks him if he's seeing anyone, and you know, he says, you know, it's crickets and tumbleweeds, and that, you know, he's thinking about going on eHarmony, but he still has feelings for this one girl. She automatically assumes that it's her, and it's not. It's come to find out it's Marnie, and she gets very upset. Her feelings get hurt.
He kind of like burst her bubble. It was a little fun
No,
to
that
watch,
was
though.
definitely an ego, like pop, just a little bit. Yeah, that was. But we knew he wasn't talking about Shoshana. We knew that was obviously Marnie. He alluded to the fact last time, I think it was a few episodes back, where he said something about, I would never be good enough for Marnie. Like, a girl like that would never choose a guy like me. Like, let's be real. And so he kind of already threw it out there that he was very fond of her, but he didn't take the relationship seriously. He just made her his cut buddy because he knew that she wouldn't end up with him, that he wouldn't win the girl. So it was kind of him being realistic, but at the same time, him being doubtful that it was even possible or even an option.
Yeah.
It's kind of like he was going to take what he could get, in a sense.
Well, it's unfortunate because why is Shoshana not good enough for him?
Why is Shoshana not good enough for him?
Yeah.
You know, you always want what you don't have, and I think that
Touche.
it ran its course. You know, once you get to a point where there's too much to forgive in a relationship, I think that it's sometimes too hard to go back. And I think they're trying to move forward with their lives. That was something in the past that they're not trying to relive. And this episode really put it in perspective for me, because I definitely thought that they were going to get back together.
Yeah.
But they've lost their fizzle altogether. I think it's definitely in the platonic friend zone now.
Yeah.
Although they may not be ready to share about each other's personal relationship lives, it's just the spark isn't there anymore.
An ex is an ex for a reason.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that.
But I think Ray being in a relationship with Marnie is not what he expects that a relationship with Marnie would be. I don't think that that would even be a functional relationship.
No.
So I think it's just that the grass is greener on the other side. Like, ooh, that looks great over there. But to actually be in it, yeah, I don't think that would. They wouldn't be a good match.
It would never work. I mean, she's just too mean.
Well, I don't even know if it's that. She's just too
and
complicated.
proper.
She's anal, and he's very anal too. He's very particular. I think they would be bumping heads a lot.
It's like a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
That's what that relationship would be like. So we see, earlier in the episode that Jess is giving Shoshana relationship advice.
Terrible advice.
Oh my god! Because she's got 4 suicides under her belt, so she's an expert at this.
Or you just drive people really crazy.
She's something else, and we see that Shoshana's very excited about this date with Scott that she has coming up, and
Yeah, she's like getting ready and
she's
taking care
grooming
of-
her
yeah.
vajayjay.
What
And
was she doing? I thought she was like plucking hairs out.
she was tweezing.
Oh, okay.
She was tweezing. I'm like, whoa, that was quite a scene
You only do
there.
that for like ingrowns though, because I didn't understand what she was doing.
She was, she was ladyscaping.
Oh, okay. Because wouldn't she get a wax for that? Or is that like the
There-
way that New Yorkers do it?
That's the way a 20-something does it on, with no job.
I'm hating.
Yeah, we have to remember Shoshana's unemployed, and
That's
so
true.
waxes are expensive.
If you guys at home do not try that, do you know how
No.
painful it is to pluck hairs? Like, okay, maybe one ingrown, but you do not pluck all of your hair off.
No, it's bad enough just going to the wax place. One smooth move is just ow. But so she's ladyscaping and getting advice from Jessa, and it is poor advice. And we see that Shoshana goes on the date with Scott, and I'm mortified as I'm watching this date because it's everything you should not be doing. She is doing.
I disagree with that. I know it's the cardinal rule. Don't talk about your exes on a date.
I'm not a fan of that.
I know, but you know what? It is something that I feel like is relative to the relationship, because your past it has a lot to do with who you are.
It's a part of you.
And so I think that that's a comfort area for people, and that's why they go there, because they want to know what they're coming from, to know what they're getting. And as much as you want to say, well, I'm not that same person I was in that relationship, yeah, well, at least let me know what baggage you're coming with. Because if this person did this to you before, I'm going to be able to be a little bit more understanding when you're guarded in this area or when you're damaged in this area. And I'll be able to mend that a little bit better. And so I think that those conversations are important. I don't think the entire first date should be about that, but I don't think that it's a topic that you have to stay away from. Although relationship experts say that you should not bring up people from your past on the first date. You should keep it light and fun.
First date, light and fun. I mean, down the road, yes, you start to reveal little things here and there, like, oh yeah, by the way, my ex didn't do X, Y, and Z, and that's why I'm not a big fan of X, Y, and Z.
But you also want to know if he has like a psycho ex that's going to stalk you.
And most men do.
Yeah. But, I mean, I thought she was doing fine the whole date until the end when she started getting really awkward about wanting to put her hands on his man parts, and it was just very hard to watch.
So he was the one who started talking about the ex first. So
Yeah.
he was talking about a topic that I feel like it's only fair and balanced to give both sides. And because he was already on that topic, now she feels inclined to talk about her experience. So I feel like that's okay because he did it first. And her turning it into, going left field and start talking about the sexual aspect, I don't know if that was like thirst. Like she just wanted to throw it out there that she is willing to have sex with him.
Well, I think we have to remember that his company is based on his ex. We have to remember that. The name of his sticky rice that smells like, I forgot what she called it, what did she call it last 2 episodes ago?
Oh, I forgot to.
It likes butt and
Oh,
vagina.
Badissi.
Yeah.
Okay, it smells like Badissi. Butt, ass, and pussy. For
Yeah.
those of you at home,
Yes,
go
it
into
smelled
your
like
Urban
Badissi.
Dictionary.
And so this is named after his ex. And so maybe with him bringing up the fact that his ex posted all of his emails on Tumblr, which, whoa, that's bad.
That's a crazy ex.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one that posts all your old photos, like just puts all your information on blast, your personal stuff. Stay away.
That's not good. That's definitely not good. That, I can see why he brought up the ex. But still, it's a first date, you know? It's just not good. And yeah, Shoshana's an awkward character to begin with, and for her to say that she wanted to have his, cock inside of her slimy vagina
It was hard to watch
like
her
a
say. It was
pickle.
That was like an awful like metaphor though for it. I'm sorry, that was atrocious.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it also goes to show her immaturity. And he laughed, which I would have done as well. I would have been like, what?
I mean, every guy wants to hear that they want that you want to touch them there. They want to hear that. And it's a lovely thought, but you just don't say it at a restaurant at the table like that on a first date.
Well, give it a little bit more time too. Spend a little bit more time with him, and then start going into like the sexual conversation. So she broke a lot of rules,
Big time.
on the first date,
Big time. And
But-
he's like, I don't really want to be having this conversation with the cast of The Good Wife sitting at the bar.
which he was totally excited about.
Exactly. And it was such an awkward first date, but I don't know, I liked them together.
Their dynamic. Mhm.
I would like to see what happens
What
with
grows
them.
with-
I thought she brought up a good point, and I think that this entire episode was sending a message about relationships and about exes and just moving on. And one thing that she said was she wanted somebody who, could teach her something, uplift her. And you hear women say that all the time. And in the course of that, the course of her putting herself down, he did. He said, we're not going to use words like
love that.
loser, worthless, and she poked fun of it. But I think that that's something that's very commendable, and I like that. Girls showed us that this episode is look at the difference between somebody who can put you down and somebody who can almost, breathe life into you.
Amen. Yeah.
It makes such a difference in a woman's life because we do, care about what our partner thinks of us, and we want their respect. And I think that she's suffering from low self-esteem right now because she's not meeting her personal checklist that she's made. But I think that he will definitely help her get there sooner with his support.
Yeah.
Build her up.
And that's the thing, like, he is definitely going to be someone positive, and that's a very, very good point. Another bad first date thing, negativity.
Yeah.
Debbie Downer. Nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody wants a Debbie Downer on a first date. And, she's sitting there and lame and just, it was just bad. It was like a train wreck. I just did not like watching. I felt bad for her. But I like that he said that not to use those words, because you're right. You want someone that's going to uplift you. You want to be empowered.
And look how pessimistic and dark sometimes Ray could be. So, it's a drastic difference between his negative outlook versus, how successful and powerful and respectable this person is who's sitting next to her. And I think that she's excited about that, but at the same time, she's trying to unsell herself to him and doesn't even know it,
It's because Ray was her first, right? Her first everything.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
she didn't know any better. Like, having a man, like, to build her up and help her out instead of, like, Ray being more of a Debbie Downer, like, on her level. Like, always agreeing with her and not being like a man. Like, no, you have value.
Every woman likes a man that lifts her up, and this is the guy to do it. By the way, today is International Women's Day.
Hey,
So
go girls.
go for the guy that lifts you up. I like this guy for her.
International
whiny
Women's
little
Day. We
bitch.
salute ya.
Yes, we do. I was very, very shocked with what happened between Marnie and Desi today. First, we have him come in with poor decisions. There's nothing that's so unattractive to me than a man that comes in and just spends money frivolously.
Right.
Especially when he doesn't have the means to do it.
Especially when it's our money. It's not your money. It's our money.
Yes. Our money. You ain't got a place to live. and you're spending money like that.
Now I know why Clementine throw your ass out.
I mean, he's just so good looking, though.
I'm sorry.
He is cute. He is very cute.
Yes.
I see what Marnie sees.
Yeah.
He is very cute, and he gets it in. He puts it down.
Yeah.
Fine gets ugly really fast. Fine gets really ugly really fast when it starts making poor decisions.
Right. I mean, he's just an irresponsible person, and I think that too. He hasn't had to be. He's living this artistic, journey because he's a musician.
Well, he's freeloading off of all of his girlfriends.
Right. Great point. And so, I think that he is not lost, but I just think that he is careless, and he would call it carefree. So I think that he was just, being
irresponsible.
It was irresponsible. But I think he was excited, and he acted on that. And so I get what he did, but he didn't take his partner into consideration.
No.
And I was surprised at the fact that he came back and admitted to that he didn't want to make another choice without Marnie. And she had every right to be livid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's sitting there talking about a second and third album and then changing their sound, which is another decision that he's making without her. I mean, their sound is fine without changing it. Mm-hmm. Adding these pedals and chords, and it looked like a box of junk, honestly. $2,000 for a box of junk.
Yeah. But also we don't know that world. Like, those could have been amazing chords that he believed in.
Yeah.
Because they were owned by somebody else.
True. Magic chords,
yeah. Or at least he believes so. But I don't know what his angle is. I don't know why he came back and was just like, I realized something today. I don't want to make another decision without you. And he proposed to her. And, he said something, but he's like, I never thought I would get married until my gay cousin, had the right to get married or something like that. And we hear a lot of people say that. I know a lot of friends who say they don't believe in marriage because gays should have equal rights to get married as well. But I just thought that was funny that was his intro to his proposal. And they can get married based on what city you're in, but
that right there was, I think, Lena Dunham, her writing, because she, I think, has said that publicly, as her person, that she didn't want to get married until gay people can get married.
Yeah, well, move to California then.
She wrote it in.
Our state, you can.
So, but no, the proposal was just. I don't know. We'll talk about that in predictions.
But most people would think, like, hey, Marnie, you're winning. Like, we can't believe you won. Like, you got the guy to leave his girlfriend when you were his mistress. That's like every side chick's dream.
Do you think the ring's a cubic zirconia? Or a
Is
diamond?
that ring? I don't know what that ring was. And I don't want to be the materialistic, judgmental chick. But you guys, come on now. You would not be excited to show anybody that ring. Like, that would be one of those wear it around your neck moments, like from Sex and the City. That wasn't. But then again, he doesn't have any money.
Exactly. That's why I'm curious.
He could have put that $2,000 towards a ring if he was, then she probably wouldn't have had anything to say. If he would have spent the $2,000 towards that ring,
she would have been fine.
Yeah, she would have been like, oh, well, in that case.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
Why, thank you. I appreciate it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that relationship. So we have Hannah, teaching. And I just thought it was very odd for her to be hanging out with a student.
Yeah, can we talk about the student, though, how it's Judd Apatow's daughter, Maude Apatow.
Yes.
So, and she looks so much like him. She's, like, so grown up now, but...
Yeah.
Well, good plug. When your daddy's a, executive producer on every show on television, you can be in, roles like this on HBO Girls.
Why not? It was just, to me, I just thought the dynamic of teacher hanging out with a student, it was inappropriate.
No, very inappropriate.
It was inappropriate, and the fact that she brought her to go get a piercing. First of all, she's talking with her about inappropriate topics.
What's going on in her sexual life in addition to what's going on in Hannah's sexual life.
Yes, that would never happen in real life.
But actually it would, and I know situations of teachers who have had these inappropriate conversations, so that wasn't something that was unrealistic. I think it goes in and shows it was a reflection of Hannah's immaturity. I think what they were showing us was the level that Hannah is at, where she is relatable to high school students. So I don't think that it was an unrealistic situation. I think that it speaks volumes to the fact that she's oblivious to the things that she does and takes no accountability whatsoever and will never choose to do the responsible thing. And it also supported what Scott, the guy, what's the name of the guy who she's dating?
I just know Mr. Parker.
Okay. So it goes to what Mr. Parker was saying, is like, you're crazy, you're drama, and it's one thing to have a teacher's pet. You can get along with your teacher, but it's another thing to spend the kind of time that she is. And tell him about you're dating the other teacher?
Yeah.
Why would she do that?
She's Hannah.
Yeah, you're right. It is Hannah just being her normal, inappropriate self. But to take her to go get her tongue pierced, which that was the most disgusting thing I've ever
Oh my
had.
God, no, that was painful.
I
That looked
watched in a second.
horribly painful.
Oh.
And then we knew that she was going to flake on it. Like, we knew, Hannah's flaky. We knew she was going to flake on the piercing.
Yeah.
But something like that, she can get suspended or, thrown out, period. Well, not just the student, but Hannah can.
Yeah.
Like, she can get thrown out from the school for that because you took a child off of school grounds to go get a piercing. The parents can come after her for that. Even sue, I mean, there's a plethora of repercussions to that.
Well, I mean, she said, we can get the under the tongue piercing because your parents can't see it there.
Okay, but when she comes home with this swollen mouth, she could barely talk. What are you going to say? My teacher took me to go get a piercing.
Well, she said it's okay to change her mind because it was heinous to watch.
Okay, that's a Hannah excuse.
It really is a Hannah excuse.
But that was awful. Like, that was just, that was, yeah, there was no excuse for that whatsoever. That was awful behavior.
It was disgusting.
Well, forget the fact that it's disgusting. It was a piercing. But the place that she chose it to, what if, and this is why Hannah doesn't think, what if it would have struck a nerve or something, or a vein, or something, that could have caused a serious damage health-wise to that young girl? Now Hannah's responsible for it. Now the school's responsible for it. So, I mean, she just does not think.
No, she doesn't. She really doesn't think. But then again, neither do
Her parents.
No, exactly. But, it's funny because we see later on she winds up going up to Mr. Parker, and which I cannot remember his first name from the life of me. And
I remember his juice box said Joe, but I can't remember what his real name is.
But, she goes to apologize to him over what happened in the last episode on their first date, which was really kind of crappy, honestly. They're on a first date, they're having a great time, and then she suggests going to this art show, and he leaves her there because she's exactly what he said. She's drama. She's nothing but drama, and no guy wants to be with somebody that's drama.
Well, I think he
Not to
brought
that
up
degree.
a good point too, though, because he said, and which I said, I think this whole episode was about crazy exes. He brought up the fact that, hey, I came from a situation where it was full of drama, and spent all this money on her, and then she battery fluid, and so I think that it goes to show once again, don't repeat the same mistakes of your past.
Yeah.
If you can, we're getting a little static. Sorry, guys. If you are aware of the mistakes that you did, after reflection, don't repeat those same things. And I think that's what he's trying to avoid, which is very hard to do when you're attracted to crazy.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm going to make different decisions, and you have already shown me that you're full of drama. And obviously that what she did was a reflection of her self-esteem. When you take your date to your exes, she blew up the spot.
Yeah, that's never good. That's never good. And that was another uncomfortable thing to watch, because it's like, how do you she's just inappropriate. And the fact that she asked him to percolate over the weekend and reconsider, because she's a strong woman and he wants to tame her down, so to speak. Like, really?
Well, she's delusional. Like,
Yes.
we know this. You guys know this. Hannah's delusional. But I think that he said something that speaks to her personality and her character, similar to her parents as well, is that she doesn't know who she really is.
No.
And she was trying to, convince him, no, you don't know the real me. And he's like, no, I think that you think you're somebody that you're not. You're somebody else.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that's very true. Hannah does have this whole, I don't know where this perception of herself came from, but she's not realistic to who she really is.
No, she's never been realistic about who she is as an individual. And we see that as she pursues all these different ventures.
Yeah, but it's also sad. I felt sorry for her this episode, because I'm just like, wow, you really are lost.
I mean, we see that when she calls her parents, and she's like, "Am I, X, Y, and Z? Am I all these things that he says that I'm
My drama queen.
Yeah, Hannah, you are a drama queen.
Well, and that's the thing is that she is, and she's very entertaining. I love her. But at the same time, she doesn't know it, and she's oblivious to the fact that her parents want to share something with her. If my mom says, you tell her, no, you tell her. Like, I'm thinking that I would be scared out of my mind thinking whatever this news is about to, be revealed to me. But she's so self-involved. Every single time, if you guys rewind every single episode, every single time she gets on the phone with her parents, no matter what it is, even a death in her family, it is all about Hannah. Oh, she does not stop for a second to ask her parents what is going on in their lives. And they try to interrupt her every single time. And she's oblivious.
She's completely selfish. And I don't see that changing with her. And, especially now with this news coming out about her dad. And, we start the episode with her parents coming out of therapy. And they are, Laureen, the mother, feels like they have finally made some progress because she's made her tenure, and she feels that, her husband, Tad, doesn't really support that because she made it before he did. And that's the typical thing, when you're significant other in that male-female dynamic. Men sometimes feel a little like
demasculated?
Yeah, a little emasculated.
Is it demasculated or emasculated?
It's emasculated.
Emasculated.
He
we teach you vocabulary here at HBO Girls.
Words with friends. He feels a little emasculated because, she got it before him, and that winds up not really being the case. After, of course, right as they're walking out of therapy, he's like, yeah, by the way, I think I might be gay. And she thinks he's full of crap. And, they wind up having this whole crazy blow up because she doesn't believe him. She's like, I just don't believe you. Why wouldn't you say this inside of therapy? And he's like, I don't trust the therapist. Now, I can see how that can happen.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Many, many times, which it's like, you got to test many therapists before you find the right one.
To confide in.
Yeah. And it's like, how do you not reveal that to your therapist, to your wife?
Well, there's a lot of people, I think, that have a hard time accepting their sexuality. And if it's opposite of what society says it should be, or what you were even taught in your family that it should be, or shame or embarrassment, people don't want to be rejected. So I can see how you would hold that inside until you feel okay with it to accept it and come out. But I think that when he revealed it to her, it was like a release for him. He's coming out the closet. He's coming clean. And I think that she was I saw a lot of Hannah in her in that moment. And I was like, that's where Hannah gets it from. Because he just revealed the hardest thing in life, to your wife. Because you're going to tear your family apart when you do that. And she was not receptive to it. Instead of even being hurt. She wasn't even hurt and sad about the information like, oh my gosh, you don't love me, you love men. It was nothing about that. For her, it was about, how can you be so jealous of me and mess up my moment? And I thought that was very Hannah-ish.
That is very Hannah.
It wasn't about the disappointment, the dissension that he's gonna, it wasn't anything related to the turmoil or what he may be feeling. And if you really love that person, you're going to try to be as unselfish in that moment. That's hard news. I get it. You're disappointed, but your first instinct as a woman is, gosh, what's wrong with me? What didn't I do? How did I not see this? She was all about her tenure. Now, there's a little bit of Hannah in her dad also, if you look at it. Because it's like, this is her tenure. They're about to go to her tenure party, and he reveals that he's gay right before they go to this party. Great point.
That's a Hannah moment right there.
Oh my God, that's so true. You're right.
It's like, wait.
That was like the Adam moment.
Yeah.
Let me ruin your day.
Great
by the way,
point.
I'm gay. I'm gonna ruin your party.
And can we touch base
I'm an
on
ass.
how the mother cheated on the father?
Yes.
Yes, there was so much revealed. So they wind up going to her after party, and she's upset that there's Riesling, and they have this, fabulous dinner for her in celebration.
Because it's sweet and nobody likes it.
Right, and that's true.
I don't like
Riesling is too sweet. We agree
That's
with
like
you.
drinking white Zinfandel. You drink that when you first start drinking.
Yeah, when you're a baby drinker.
Not
so
Chablis.
randomly she gets, she dimes him out in front of all of her friends that, you know, his speech to her or his toast to her is a lie. She's like, I can't take this BS anymore. She goes upstairs, and in the midst of that, she gets pulled into the room because somebody is in love with her. I mean, this was so random. I'm like, you had an affair summertime a couple years ago?
I mean, I can see how that could possibly have happened. And first of all, with them sitting at the dinner table and him saying that speech, I would have been pissed too.
Yeah, no,
I would
for
have been
sure,
pissed too.
for sure.
Like, he should have made it very short and sweet, not been so detailed after revealing what he revealed to her.
Right, yeah.
The toast should have been, you know what, Lorene, you've worked really hard at this. You know, we are all proud of you. I am proud of you. Congratulations, cheers to you. Not, this is great for us. No, it's not great for us. You just told me you're gay. Like, that's a shitty thing to do. You know what I mean? And he was too detailed. And that was an ass moment for him to do that to her.
Well, it was too much about their partnership.
Yes.
And, you know, him being in their life, you know, my life. I just felt like he should have stayed away probably from that stuff.
Yeah.
But that was definitely for face, you know, and in that moment, you wouldn't want that to be revealed, though. I mean, you can't control how you're feeling emotionally, but I think that he was trying to make the best of an awkward situation by giving that speech.
And that was not the right thing to do. And that was, once again, I think another Hannah style moment coming from her dad. And we see a little bit earlier when he's in the other room and Avi's showing him his book, that Avi starts kind of, you know, poaching him for information about their relationship. I can tell that there's some disconnect between you and your wife. What's going on there? You know what I mean? To feel what's up.
Right.
And I think that's what gave Avi the go-ahead, that when Lorene was like, I can't take this, and she gets up and leaves the table.
Got it.
That gave him the go-ahead to be like, look, I'm in love with you still, and the more and more that I see that your relationship is in, you know, dire straits, I'm just going to tell you, I'm in love with you, and I want you, which... That's going to be interesting because he's got wifey downstairs.
And isn't wifey her friend?
Yeah, they're all friends. It's just an incestuous, you know, friendship going on there.
They're older versions of the girls. Like, that's exactly what they are.
It never ends.
It never ends.
It never ends. And so, you know, to her, this whole night's just a big joke. And I feel bad for her mom. Because that's just not cool. It's like, well, all of this crap is going down. So what's even funnier, we have them now sitting at home discussing the fact that Tad watches gay porn. And that's where he realizes that, you know, he might think that he's gay. And she starts kind of prying him, you know, for information. Like, so do you want to... Now, this is Girls, and we're just going to preface it with the fact that this is what she said. You know, what do you want to suck a dick? Do you want to put it in someone's ass? Like, where are we going with this? Like, what do you want to do? And now Hannah winds up calling in, and, you know, she's like, you need to tell her. And he's like, I don't want to tell. And she just finally says, you know, like, hey, Hannah, by the way, your dad is gay. Like, whoa, talk about dropping a bomb.
I think she did just to get Hannah's attention because she wouldn't shut up on the phone.
Yeah. And
she wanted somebody to tell. I think that she wanted to put that information out there also. Because I think usually you would be a little bit more protective of your child.
Yeah.
I don't think that you would have revealed that the day of that it was revealed to you. I think that as a parent, you probably need a little bit more time to digest that, mourn over the loss of your husband, because that's really what it is. Your love is dead after that. You can love him as a person, but you guys will no longer be in love with each other.
Yeah.
And obviously he wasn't. And so I just think that wasn't the way to handle it. I don't think her mom did the right thing either. I think she just wanted to kind of bust her husband out.
Oh yeah, because
and, you know, put him in the hot seat.
Well, she knows that the relationship between Hannah and her, you know, and Tad are very close. So that's just another way to hurt him.
Yeah.
By telling her.
Right. It was like a dagger. It was a little uppercut.
Big time. So.
But now we know what the reveal was, because when he went to go visit Hannah when she was getting her master's, he had something that he was holding back from telling her, and, you know, he kept implying that there was something, you know, going on in his life, but he wouldn't share. And so now we you know, it's been revealed to us. Because I knew that it was something. I was like, they're not going to make him gay. That would be too, you know.
That'd be too easy.
Yeah, and then they made him gay.
And they made him gay. So shall we get to predictions, ladies? Let's get to predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right. So, where do we think?
I think the Marnie marriage or proposal is a hoax. I think that he's going to be super in debt, and he's marrying Marnie to like take care of him, you know, the way that he did with Clementine. I don't think that was the aha moment, I'm in love with you. And so I think that something's going to be revealed about the proposal.
He's keeping her at bay.
Yeah, I just think that, you know, Marnie wants to believe this, and I think that she might even give him the ring back. I don't think that he's as appealing to her as he once was. I think she lost respect for him.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we saw that a couple episodes back that she was like, I'm not really that into him. And, you know, with him making poor decisions, I can definitely see her being like, meh.
Yeah.
That ring was even Clementine's ring. He just recycled
Oh, burn.
That
We
would not
didn't
be
see
good.
much of what's her Mimi Rose this episode or Adam. So not sure where they stand, but we're going to see them next episode.
Yes, and we see them we see that in the previews that Jessa is is interested in Mimi Rose's ex Ace, and there's a little bit of jealousy that happens there. I predict that I see Mimi Rose going back to her ex.
Oh, yes, obviously.
And Adam being left in the dark, you know, being on her own.
I still think that Adam and Hannah are going to have another moment. I think that they still have a chance to get back together.
Yeah, I see them getting back together because they're just, you know, toxic like that. They're just definitely toxic like that. As far as Hannah's dad, I see him having some adventures in New York because he's going to have to, you know, I don't see him staying with the mom right now because she's just going to lose it. She's going to go batshit over the fact that, you know, dad is gay and what the hell are you doing here?
Well, in the previews, it shows the mom asking Hannah, is he on Christopher Street or some street? I guess it's the equivalent to like WeHo, West Hollywood, the Abbey in New York. So.
Yeah, so I see them like having, you know, him having some gay adventures in, you know, the city.
And Hannah probably, you know, supporting it, helping him.
Gay in the city and Elijah being his like wingman.
I can see that. That would be hilarious. Let's see if the writers give us that.
Yeah, and then Shoshana and Scott, I see them just having a nice little like yummy adventure.
I hope for the best for them.
Yeah.
Because she
Yeah, I like
has
that couple.
still a little bit more growing up to do, and I think he'll help her with that.
Yeah, so there we have it. Do we have any other predictions?
No, I think we're good.
I think we are good. So there you guys have it. That's our girls for tonight. You guys can follow us on AfterBuzz TV on Twitter. You can follow me, Miriam Gonzalez, on Twitter as well. On Instagram, MiriamG1. And ladies?
You can find me, Candy Buen, at Insta or Twitter.
And you guys can play with my Twitter and stroke my Instagram at spicy_Madi. And make sure you guys download our episode and tweet at us, but also like rate us, let us know, you know, get in on the conversation. Let us know what you guys are thinking about today's episode.
Absolutely. Head over to iTunes, do that, and we will see you guys next Sunday for another episode of Girls. Until then, have a good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.